Hello everyone, welcome back to Scented Moments channel. I'm Jolima and I hope you're all doing well. Today I want to talk about my top 10 best or favorite aquatic fragrances. So with the summer right around the corner, and actually it's now really hot here in Portugal, I tend to wear more fresh, citrusy, uplifting aquatic fragrances. Aquatic fragrances aren't my favorite type of fragrances, but nonetheless, during the summertime, I absolutely love to wear some aquatic fragrances. Aquatic fragrances usually have this sea breeze accord. They have salty accords, seaweed. They have all this oceanic watery feel, which is mostly brought by a synthetic molecule called cologne. So I have here 10 fragrances, 10 aquatic fragrances, and they are very different from each other, and I will not mention them in a specific order except for the last fragrance. The last fragrance that I will mention in this video is actually my favorite, or it would be my number one aquatic scent. So let's get right into this list. So first I have here a fragrance from the house of Bvlgari, and the fragrance is Acqua pour Homme. This one right here. I actually really do love the bottle presentation. I love the color of the bottle. Really represents what the scent transmits. This is a fantastic oceanic fragrance. The only downside of this fragrance is actually the performance, which is not good. At least on my skin, I just get like 5 hours and that's it in terms of longevity overall. But nonetheless, in terms of scent, if you're looking for a salty, fresh, oceanic, a dark oceanic fragrance, this one is the one to go. It's my favorite actually from the Aqua line from Bvlgari. I think this one really truly represents the strength of the ocean, but that's just my opinion. The best from the line, Acqua pour Homme by Bvlgari, a stunning aquatic scent. Next fragrance that I want to mention, it's from the house of Xerjoff, and the fragrance is 40 knots. This one right here. Gorgeous looking bottle, like all Xerjoff. I love Xerjoff presentation. This one is part of the Join the Club collection. 40 knots. It's not your typical aquatic scent. And I absolutely love this fragrance. It was love at first sniff for me. But this doesn't have those aquatic nuances. It has a salty nature in here. Doesn't have that sea breeze, but it has this salty nature. It has ambergris in here. I don't know if it's natural. Doesn't feel very natural, but nonetheless, it's sweet. It has an ambery touch in here. It's quite woody. It's quite masculine, quite gentlemanly, I would even say. And it has in the opening like a shy, salty marine accord. But overall, I consider this still to be an aquatic scent because the scent character, although it's sweet and woody, but it really makes me feel next to the beach. Actually, 40 knots from Xerjoff, often compared with Ambre Nuit by Dior from their private collection. But this one, it's still my favorite because it's more intense. It doesn't have the rose like Ambre Nuit has, but I still prefer this one. It's a bit more aquatic, let's say. And again, like I told you, it's more intense. It leans more masculine, in my opinion. 40 knots from Xerjoff. It's an outstanding scent. Another fragrance that I want to mention, it's from the house of Tom Ford from the Private Blend collection. The fragrance is Costa Azzurra. This one right here, which is actually my favorite from the blue line of Tom Ford. This is fantastic. Great performance, actually. At least on my skin, I get easily 7 hours in terms of longevity overall. Costa Azzurra has driftwood, it has seaweed, so you can see that it has more salty accords, more aquatic nature into this fragrance, but it's also quite woody. This fragrance for me, it feels like I'm in a old wooden boat and I'm going to fish in the middle of the sea. It's how I feel when I smell this one. Or also you can sense like you are next to the Mediterranean coast, just chilling and enjoying your time. Stunning scent, quite masculine again in my opinion, but it's all fragrances are unisex depending on your taste, of course. Costa Azzurra from Tom Ford, the best from the Neroli Portofino line or the blue line of Tom Ford, either in terms of scent and in terms of performance. Costa Azzurra, guys, fantastic. The next fragrance that I want to mention, it's from the house of Dolce & Gabbana, and actually I never mentioned this fragrance before in this channel. It is Light Blue Eau Intense. This fragrance is my guilty pleasure fragrance. Great aquatic scent, but it's so common. This is very popular here in Portugal, at least the light blue overall. And this one is still a bit different from the original. I still prefer this one a bit more because the original is a bit more scratchy. And this one, the edges are more rounded. It's salty, but yet it's smoother. It's aquatic, and yet it's very versatile. I mean, usually aquatic fragrances, I tend to wear them just during the summertime, when I go to the beach or when I'm in a vacation period. But this one, you can wear it during the springtime, even in the office, I would even say. It's a bit more versatile, but nonetheless, it's a great fragrance. Borderline tropical, I will even say. Stunning. Not the most natural smelling fragrance in this top 10, not at all. And actually it's very common. Again, it's a very common scent DNA, but nonetheless, I still love this one. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense. Great performance also. The next fragrance that I want to mention is from the house of Versace, and the fragrance is Versace Man Eau Fraiche. Now, this fragrance doesn't need any introduction. It's very well cherished in the fragrance community, especially for the summertime, of course. This one, it's when comparing with the other fragrances that I have here, I think it's the least aquatic. It has a watery nature in here, but it's not salty. Doesn't have any seaweed or any sea breeze impression. It's more watery. It feels more that you are next to the swimming pool. But nonetheless, I consider this still to be an aquatic scent. It's fruity, it's slightly woody and musky, and it's very watery in my opinion. Of course, the performance here, it's great. It's not great. This is an Eau Fraiche concentration, so of course we are talking about 3-4 hours in terms of longevity, but nonetheless, I really do enjoy the scent inside. Perfect for a very hot day during the summer to wear. Versace Man Eau Fraiche, I still enjoy this one. Versace Man Eau Fraiche, it's a nice, more watery fragrance. Next fragrance that I want to mention, it's one of the most unique aquatic fragrances that I have. It is Marc-Antoine Barrois Ganymede. This one right here. Gorgeous looking bottle. I recently did a review of this stunning fragrance. Ganymede is more than just an aquatic scent. It's very ozonic. You have floral notes in here. Actually, it's osmanthus, which also gives a fruity impression. It has leather. Although leather it's not featured, has an official note, but the leather accord here, it's created by saffron and violet, and you have really this sparkly, salty, ozonic, aquatic nuances. Very unique and so sensual, sparkly, masculine, I would even say. Very elegant scents and very addictive in my opinion. One of my most worn fragrances so far during this year, it's Ganymede from Marc-Antoine Barrois. Definitely will be featured also on my summer list. Now let's talk about a very special fragrance in my collection, because it was created by a Portuguese perfumer, Miguel, and the fragrance is Sailor Stories. This one right here. I actually did a review of this fragrance last year. Sailor Stories is an outstanding, pure, intense aquatic scent. This is, it's very intense. You have seaweed in here, you have jasmine, you have citruses on the top, it's woody. It's fantastic. It kind of smells like the color of the liquid suggests. It's green, it has some green facets in here, but it's also very aquatic, very watery, and yet very intense. Sailor Stories by Miguel. It's an outstanding aquatic scent if you're searching for one. The next fragrance that I want to mention is from the house of Carner, Barcelona, and the fragrance is Costarela. This one right here. I don't know if you can see it clearly, but this is Costarela. Costarela, it's my favorite fresh scent from Carner, Barcelona. It's fantastic. It's so unique because it has sandalwood, warm sandalwood. And it's actually very realistic, this sandalwood. Of course, it has aquatic nuances. It's salty also. It really feels like you are next to the beach. It smells really like a hot day in the beach, basically. Costarela from Carner, Barcelona, it's very realistic and it's one of my favorite aquatic fragrances. Of course, in terms of performance, not great, but nonetheless, if you're searching for a true summer beach day, it's this one, Costarela from Carner, Barcelona. And of course, an aquatic list would not be complete without a Creed fragrance. And in this case, it is Millesime Imperial. This one right here. I really love this fragrance, but I don't mention this fragrance much often because it's very well known, it's very well cherished. I'm sure that the majority of you already know Millesime Imperial, and this is a salty watermelon. It has a fruity impression in here, aquatic scent, very sparkly, very elegant. It smells fantastic. It's an outstanding scent, and actually I get good performance. I don't have any complaints in terms of performance regarding to Millesime Imperial. This comes in the older bottle. This is a 120 ml. Now they just sell for a 100 ml, and I think now it's a golden bottle, like it once was also. But nonetheless, I don't know the batch code. I don't really care about batch codes, to be honest, but I don't have any complaints in terms of performance. The scent, it's fantastic. A great aquatic scent. Millesime Imperial from Creed. And now, the best aquatic fragrance, in my opinion, from the house of Profumum Roma. The fragrance is Acqua di Sale. Acqua di Sale, it's man, that fragrance that makes you smile every time you smell it, even from the spray. Oh man, this is fantastic. It truly smells like you just filled this bottle with ocean water, literally. It's very salty, has seaweed in here, very watery, oceanic, and it has a woody base in here. Man, I love this. And for me, the best part of this fragrance is the sillage, because for me, this smells, makes me feel very sensual. It has a sensuality in here. Man, this is amazing. The most realistic oceanic aquatic scent, great performance. I mean, I'm talking about 24 hours in terms of longevity, because all Profumum Roma fragrances are highly concentrated, and this will stay in your clothes like for a very long time. Also, it's an outstanding scent. If you love aquatic and if you're searching for a true natural smelling aquatic scent, this one is the one to buy. Acqua di Sale, it's my favorite. So good. So good. Acqua di Sale from Profumum Roma, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comments down below if you enjoy aquatic fragrances. What are your favorite aquatic fragrances? And stay safe, guys. See you in the next video. Ciao.